Hey, Space Watchers, and welcome back here from Munich. It is the second day of the Munich Security Conference, and I do have the great honor today to speak with the new Managing Director of one of the leading German industry association for space and aviation, with Marie-Christine von Hahn. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you very much.
That's wonderful to hear. After the second day, we still have the energy to do that. Wonderful. So, you started in this new position 4 months ago, and you come from the outside. What is great, I think. So what are your observations from the space market when you arrived? So can you wrap that up for us?
Absolutely. So my first and biggest observation is that I'm totally struck myself, very personally, on how fabulous the space business is, the space environment, including think tanks, universities, research institutes, and that there's this immense passion amongst everybody who's involved in the space business. That's the biggest observation. The second big observation is that all this passion sometimes lacks still a bit of telling the outside world what it is we're doing here already and why it is so immensely important. You have to listen carefully and ask a lot of questions, and since I don't have pretty much of a clue so far of what is going on up there, I ask a lot of questions and they get all answered, and answered very well, but you have to listen and think and re-ask and so on and so forth. So I think to convince more and more people of that space is not only super, super cool and all those things happening up there, but also, but really absolutely existentially important for our all days life. We have to find more and more very easy to grasp stories and to tell people why it is so important. And that's something the business, I think, must improve a little bit on. And BDLI is super happy to support here.
It sounds great. So that's why we are doing it here. And also with that, welcome to our friendly bubble, as you described it.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So, defense is one of the topics, obviously, of the Munich Security Conference. And defense has to increase in spending and in innovation in Germany, especially. And Germany looks like that we are not too keen on dual-use research and innovation. How can we change that?
Well, for one, there is nothing, as I learned in those talks, that in the space business, in the space research, that is not dual use. That would be not realistically
Right.
to say that there's any application, any usage of satellites, of in space, on the ground, that wouldn't be capable of being used for dual use. So that's for one. And then, so I think rejecting the idea of that is sort of unrealistic, as I said. The second question is, I also sense that there is people, probably first and foremost in academia, who have a resentment to that. But I really wonder, under the current situation, under the current geopolitical circumstances, under the not only geopolitical but political situations in Germany, in Europe, in the world, whether it is not the case that more and more people get aware of that. We have to really build up again strengths in defending ourselves, in putting security first. And without space, this will not be possible. And I think more and more people get aware of that. So I really hope that this whole discussion around dual use will be absent sooner than later, because, yeah, as I said, it's unrealistic to reject the idea, and we depend on being capable of defend ourselves.
Okay, so we work on that. I mean, we have some hurdles in Germany to overcome with that, with the civil clause and other things that were implemented at a point of time for a reason. So it's not that we're saying we're doing it because we have to. No, there was a reason for that, but I think the time changed. We have a Zeitenwende, is the term is in German. So I assume it is your first Munich Security Conference. What are you learning so far?
My learning, well, my assumption was, and it got proven right, luckily, is that people come here to talk, listen, and engage with each other. And that is obviously true. It's a very, very crowded place with people from all disciplines, from all different countries. And the difficult one or the other speech may be, or might have been, the good it is that people nevertheless get together, talk. And so one can only encourage this format, all other formats like the ones you are producing. Really, without engaging, without talking to each other, we won't improve any situation. And pushing and bringing the space issue forward is a very important one. Not only for the space business as such, but as you said, for defense as well, for all the rest of my very important sector, the civil aviation as well. Everybody depends on that, and the society in total as well.
Absolutely. Marie-Christine von Hahn, thank you very much for your time. And with that, Space Watch out.